In today's video, we look at Charlie. He needed to learn drop, and that was a really hard lesson. Let's jump right into it. But before we do that, don't forget to subscribe and click that little bell so you get more videos. Meet Charlie, the 5-month-old doodle who has a lot of impulse control problems. So here I'm teaching him just to stay out of my space for 2 minutes so I can give him his bone instead of him just grabbing it from me and being aggressive. In this video, you're going to see me teach Charlie how to drop because he was aggressive and that's not a problem for the owner. This footage was filmed vertically and I'm presenting it horizontally so that you can better see the behaviors. If you stick until the end, you're going to see the progress of Charlie. It's pretty impressive. Share in the comments what you do, what you think, and we'll take the discussion from there. Patience. Here I'm blocking Charlie out of my critical space, so I'm just extending my hand and telling him that he's not allowed in my critical space. This behavior doesn't have a name because basically I'm just trying to impulse control train him so that he learns when he's in front of people, he doesn't have to jump on them, paw at them, or more specifically, bite them. 5-month-old puppies are transitioning into adolescents and their behavior becomes really obnoxious. So if you don't address this problem now, it's only going to get worse, especially as they get bigger. Once he gains control over his impulse, then I'm going to give him the bone. You can see how hard this is for Charlie. Controlling your impulses when you really want something is really hard, but this lesson is vital for him to learn so that he stops jumping on people, but most specifically, stop biting them because Charlie is becoming a biter. Charlie learns the lesson of impulse control in less than 2 minutes. So if you stick at this and be patient, you will reach your goal. Now that Charlie controls his impulse, he doesn't want my bully stick anymore. So I'm going to invite him, and that's exactly what I want him to learn. Stop jumping into my space, onto my body. I will invite you into my space, and there you can get your bone. He wants me to give it to him, but I don't want to do that because I'll need him to drop it. Come on, dog. The goal of the exercise is to get Charlie invested in chewing the stick so that it self-soothes his teeth and he's happy about it, so that when he lets it go and I say drop, he'll start to learn that that word equals drop that delicious bone. What Charlie wants is for me to let go of the bone so he can take it and go chew it somewhere. That's where he gets into trouble and starts being aggressive. I'd rather hold it, we'll eventually navigate it to the floor, and then Charlie will learn how to let it go in a more efficient and positive way. You can see Charlie trying to figure out what's the new game. You're not allowed to take it and go away and eat it. Now you're going to eat it while I hold it. No. Tigers and lions. Come on. And you have meat on us when we work, so. Charlie's now getting invested in chewing the bone, and that's exactly what I want, so that when he releases it, I will say drop and reward him. Good boy. Good boy. Good. Drop. Good boy. You forgot a piece. Find it. Bear, dude. You're just a dog. You don't need your jump. If he immediately drops the bone as he's chewing, then I won't name it drop. I really want him to get invested in it, like really chew, so that if ever the owner needs to take it away from him, he'll be okay with that. The owner wanted me to look into Charlie's mouth to see what was the state of his teeth, and let me tell you, he lost a lot. But yeah, his big carnassial tooth is likely going to fall out in maybe this week or next week. Okay. So that's what he's biting on. Like, yeah. He's doing this sideways.
Because at one point he went like this. It seemed like he was in pain.
Yeah. Well, sometimes the baby tooth doesn't fall out immediately and the big one's coming, so the little one's like dangling and weird, so they try to scrape it out. It actually happened, which dog did we have playing with? Actually, he was biting me, so I just put my hand in there.
Oh, and then the tooth just came out.
Tooth came out. And it was a problematic tooth.
Yeah.
You can see how he's in pain because he's non-stop chewing, and that motion on the gum really soothes the pain. And since Charlie lost almost all his back teeth, then this is absolutely necessary for him. He needs toys on which he can chew. So us holding the bully stick really is a favor to him, and at the same time we're teaching him to drop, which is a life skill. So the right side hurts more than the left because he's spending more time on it.
I think that's the one he...
Yeah. Come on. Drop, good boy. Good boy. Charlie dropped. I said good boy, and now it's time to pay up. So come on, pull out those treats. He got chicken and he's gonna get cheese. You have to pay because what he's surrendering is of a great value, so don't be cheap. Find it.
Are those too big, those cubes?
No, it's just...
Okay.
I like to give them some and tell them that there's some left. Drop, good boy. It likes me the cheese. Good boy.
He's like, more.
Drop.
Yeah.
This
They're
is
smart.
even hard. Here, Charlie dropped right away, so I just gave him a teeny tiny treat. If you want to see what that behavior looks like in nature, the foxes do this on the snow, and they hear mice, and then they dive, and then head and feet.
Wow.
Bam! So they're trying to knock out the mouse and then dig it out. Yeah. Drop, good boy. Good boy. Again, you have to pay up because Charlie is working hard. Surrendering the bully stick, which really soothes his teeth, needs to be paid up. So he got a nice piece of cheese for that. So the best, drop, good boy. Can't even start a sentence. Got it. With these types of objects, while he's teething, it's best to do this. To give it to him, hold it.
Okay, not let him, because I've been letting him.
I know, which is it's fine in a sense.
Partly because it's good, like I thought it was good for him, and partly to also give me like a second.
I know,
to do something of my own.
Of course.
For that, if you can always give him like a little frozen Kong with peanut butter or something, and because that's not as intense, I think, as the bully stick right now, because it doesn't help with.
It was more. I was trying to give him something because I knew like the bully stick feels good for him.
Yeah.
So
or even see how he's chewing right now. It's just that back tooth. He's just gnawing at it, trying to cut this, which he won't because he has no teeth.
Yeah.
But that's very soothing. Mm-hmm. Drop, good boy. Good boy.
Oh, jeez. I like this game. This is the best game in the world. Can you have Gabby
for two
come
reasons
every day?
One is that it's a you and me thing. And if I need to take it back,
you can.
I can, and I would say, stop, good boy. Or you can say, he doesn't know the word drop yet right now, but. Training drop is different for every dog, but if you practice, it will make perfect. That is a guarantee. But the goal is drop, good boy. That wasn't hard though, so a little here. Mine.
He needs to leave it more than 9, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You have to try. Mm-hmm. Come. There you go. See?
almost like now he knows if he stops.
Of course, that's the point.
Okay.
Drop, good boy. The point is that when you leave things,
It's a good thing.
it's a good thing, and I'm adding the word drop
Right. So
as he surrenders,
Yeah.
so that he surrendered it,
Yeah.
and then he gets something amazing. Because when they're in it,
Yeah.
they're not going to want to surrender it, and they won't want to change this for this.
Because that's what I find when I did the practice with him, like when I was doing it with the food, for example.
David.
Like the pattern, like he picked it up and then he was fine. Like he learned it, but then when I would say it with other things.
Well, that's the thing.
It's because the object has a value.
Yeah.
So this is going to eventually be on the floor.
Right.
He'll eat it.
Yeah.
And then they'll re-drop.
Right.
So I want him to get into this.
Right.
And I'm going to start going closer and closer to the floor. Because eventually he'll just take it.
Right.
Eat it. But when I say that word,
drop.
D-R-O-P,
Oh, we
then he'll
hope.
do.
We hope. Right.
Yeah. But he has to get into it, which is self-soothing. If he's just going yum yum and leaving it, like, no. So I want him to get involved. So we're still naming this behavior. Drop, good boy. Look, this is getting happy. Here, another little teeny tiny. Find it. Find it. Find it.
I think it's also part of, like, we taught him paw.
Yeah.
So now he thinks when he gives you a paw,
Of course.
he's going to get a treat also. So I think he does that preemptively.
Yeah. And puppies paw at their mother's mouth to get food, to make her vomit. So pawing becomes very... So giving a paw for the dog is not a...
It's not a big
natural behavior. Giving the back paw is different. That's a trained behavior. So now he's getting into it.
Yeah. And he's on the ground.
He's on the ground. His eyes are like closing, soothing. So when he lets it go and I'll say the word, then I'll give him some cheese because I know that this is going to be hard for him to
drop.
Yep. Drop, good boy. A big piece of cheese or a little piece of cheese. Here you go. Here you go. Plus for them, us holding it is way more satisfying than them doing it because they don't have a thumb to hold this still. So it's always, it's trying to eat your dinner with a fork. Like, it's very annoying and not practical.
Yeah.
But our fingers are really good at this. So it bonds you together, but also saying that when I need you to let go or surrender this thing, that you trust me that I'll give you something good.
Right.
Get into it. Yeah, come. You're. Here you go. He's looking around, making sure in his little dog brain that all is good. I can devote some time eating this. Nobody's gonna get me. Now he's into it. Drop, good boy. Fun game.
As he gets better, she's going to lower her hand till she can leave it on the floor. That'll be the shoe test.
Too hard.
Can you send me this video so I can show my husband after?
Absolutely.
So again, just getting into it.
Yeah, you got to give him time to invest in it.
So yeah, this side is. Drop, good boy. Speaking and training at the same time are not good to me. I can't even walk and speak, right?
No comment.
Fall off.
No comment.
Have to stop. Come on. Well, this is not counter. This is counterproductive, dude. Come. Is it time when I release this to the floor? If I did it prematurely, he would take it and leave.
Yeah. I think he's trying to
Yeah,
get
yeah,
it from you.
for sure.
Like, why aren't you giving it to me?
Yep. So I want this to be us because when things are valuable and there's no us, not gonna happen. Drop, good boy.
Oh boy, the big gun's coming out.
Come on, why don't you get closer? There you go. As you can see, my hand is getting closer and closer to the floor because eventually I'm going to release this bone. It'll just be there, Charlie will take it, chew on it, and then we'll say drop and he will drop it. But if I leave it on the floor too prematurely, then Charlie might just take it and run away, and then that sets us back in the training. So I really want him to reinvest, and I'm going to start holding it very lightly so that he realizes that I'm still there, but you're getting more liberty.
Very good homework to follow.
Drop, good boy. I give you big pieces. Because we're getting closer and closer to the. You have to surrender it willingly. So now I'm gonna barely hold on to it.
Right, and see if he pulls it out.
And I want his paws to get involved, but
Right.
you can't keep going backwards. Come. Come.
You're beautiful.
Come on. Yes, come. I'm try to do it with the other hand, but it's this side he wants to chew on.
I think I should have been a cameraman in my life.
Yeah. So let's test this. Drop. Good boy.
Yay!
Good boy. A big gigantic boy.
Oh, yeah. This is the whole point, right?
Good boy. Yeah.
Look at all those treats.
Come on. Come on. Here I make the bone disappear because I don't want Charlie to learn to bark when he wants something. When he barks, things go away.
See, that's the behavior I'm talking, the barking.
Yeah, but that's frustration. It's not aggressive barking.
Okay.
Is way lower pitch. It would sound like this.
Okay.
And then it would be a low growl. Come on, play with your feet. Come on. You do this, and then you put this on. Ta-da! That's how we do it. So his foot is pushing on my finger.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he thinks he's holding it. At this step, I'm barely holding on to the bone. I want Charlie to be doing most of the work. Now I want to test the behavior, so I let go of the bone, let Charlie get invested in it, and then I'm going to ask to drop to see if he really understands that word. Drop! He didn't let go, so I keep holding on to it. Drop! Good boy! Good boy!
You have to be patient.
Oh yeah.
This takes quite a long time.
And while he's eating, do take it back. Because the goal is that if you ever need to take it away from him while he's doing that, then this can disappear.
That's how I've been getting it away from him in the first place.
Yeah.
It was just that last time
Yeah.
he wouldn't drop it and I didn't want to grab it from him.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
It's probably because his mouth is
Yeah, his
bothering
mouth,
him.
and he's also turning into a teenager,
Yeah.
and now it has value, and he's starting to be more assertive, and yada yada. Ay, ay, ay. I'm gonna still go hold on to it a little bit more. This is just a safety for me that I don't want him to take it and leave. Togetherness. Drop. Good boy! Yay!
Who is is the star of the show today, Mr. Charlie.
Charlie Barley.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. Oh, boy. Don't.
And then I keep some just as he's finishing that.
Yeah.
I'm going to give him more. So dogs that have a tendency to be possessive of things, our game is less is more. So as you run out, I'm going to give you a little bit more. So it gives them, what do I say? It doesn't give them, it
tells them.
It teaches them that I need this, but I'm also going to give you something in return, and I'll keep giving.
Okay.
So that you can, not feel like I'm going to take everything from you all the time.
Right.
Charlie goes back to his bad behavior of being obnoxious and trying to climb on my lap to get his bone. So we go back to the rule that we started from. You stay out of my critical space, you be calm and quiet, and the bone will come to you. But at this point, I'm still holding it, but I'm not holding it as before. So it's basically, it's this kind of hold. So that he has more control over it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't want him to, I have to bend in half, dude. Come, there you go. There you go. So he thinks he's holding on to it, but I still have it between my thumb and my index. Drop. Good boy.
That's perfect.
Not worthy of much though, but here you go.
That was good.
Take it. Come on. You have teeth. There you go. Come on. There you go. So once I'm able, no, that doesn't count. Once I'm able to say drop while holding it, and he does that 10 consecutive times, then I can start giving it to him, and then literally dropping it.
Right.
But again, I don't want him to take it and run away, because that's the possession part.
Right.
So this is really a you and me. I'm helping you, but you help me by, not biting my fingers off.
Yeah.
Holding my arm. So this is why, this is a typical behavior where they're trying to go sideways. And the reason is they want to hold it like this, but sideways, because their thumb here is not really worthy of anything. It doesn't hold much.
Right.
So this is why they tend to kind of want to flip on their side.
Yeah.
And this is why holding it for them is so good. So I suggest if you want some peace and quiet, then there's other stuff that could be used, like his balls and things, where we can put stuff that's harder to get out of. So let's say you use that ball, you can put some of these treats in, fill up with water, let it stay there for a few 30 seconds, it'll get a bit sticky, release the rest of the water, and then give it to him. So the treats are going to stick together, and it won't be easy to come out.
That's one I did not know. That is one I did not know.
So they'll spend a bit more time to it. And then what we do with the wolves that's really practical with the dogs are frozen treats. So basically it can be water, chicken broth, whatever, no salt. And then you stick stuff into it. We used to do at Wolf Park, like all leftovers, whatever they were. We just dump it in the water, freeze it, and then give it to them.
Like an ice cube tray type of thing?
Like an ice cube, but it's a gigantic ice cube. It's like a
bigger one.
A gigantic ice cube. So this could be practical for outside.
Yeah.
Or on a towel or on a surface that, because they lick it, so it doesn't really melt. And then they're trying to eat the things in there, so it soothes the gum trying to eat this icy.
So what, like put like a treat in an
Anything.
ice cube and then fill it with water?
Not an ice cube, they're too small, he might
Okay.
swallow that.
Okay.
It's literally you know, a margarine container. Those I don't know if
Yeah, a container, the plastic containers. You can get a smaller one.
No, the bigger ones.
The bigger ones, and fill it with water and put some treats in it, or chicken, or carrots.
This, anything that
freeze it.
Broccoli, things you throw away, like stuff that it'll smell good. But because it's bigger, he's gonna try to gnaw at the ice, which will feel good on his gums. That can be an option.
Yeah, you can use chicken broth and water.
You can use
but no salt. The chicken
no
broth
salt.
Has salt in it. No.
Not all of them.
Not all of them.
Okay.
But either homemade or water is fine as well. It's just it gives it a little extra flavor. But you don't have to use a margarine container. You could use, let's say, a dish soap bottle that's ready for recycling, and you fill it. You put treats in it, and once it's frozen, you just cut the plastic out of it. It goes in the trash and recycling anyway.
Yeah.
And then that flatter, frozen treat feels a lot better. But basically, they want to do this. They just want to eat. So now he's really invested in it. Try to let it go just a little bit more. You're holding my fingers. I can't. There you go. Okay. Drop. So he looked at me. Good boy. Good boy. What is all this? Oh, there you go. He's a little treat. Yeah. There you go.
So now she'll give him another one.
So Charlie just released the bone after I asked him, so I'm paying up big time. I gave him some big pieces of cheese, and now I'm giving him chicken. I don't give it all at once because dogs really like the action of receiving. So the more they receive, the more they think they're getting. I want him to take a little 2-minute break.
Should I stop it?
Yeah, you can stop the... If you made it this far, thank you for watching. It's very much appreciated, and it encourages me to make more videos like this for you. You can also share in the comments what you would like to see, and I'm open-minded. I'll try. I'll catch you in the next one, and I'm signing off and saying ciao for now, YouTubes.